No one likes seeing people getting fired. It's sad when it happens. But sometimes you can expect it. And for some reason, it seems that the people who work at Activision were caught by surprise of this turn of events. And it's very interesting because I was saying, when I was seeing all of the people who work at Blizzard Activision protesting and chanting outside and demanding that the company would be better and blah blah blah, and I was saying, most of these people are going to get fired soon. And I wasn't saying this because of why they are protesting. It's got nothing to do with it. Although, who knows, like maybe the ones that were the more active in protesting are probably going to be on the chopping block anyway. But you are damaging your company's brand in a time where your company brand is already damaged. So what ends up happening, and I know that a lot of left-leaning people don't know how to economics, and maybe they think that a corporation prints money, but no, like the way the economy works is that the company needs to make money to pay you. And when a company can't make money, it doesn't pay you. So when you look at Blizzard, which is part of Activision, so if Blizzard is affected, Activision as a whole gets affected. What video games does Blizzard actually have that are attracting customers at this point? I mean, we had Heroes of the Storm, which was popular for a while, but then they decided to drop their support for international competition, and they said they're going to slow down with the patches, so people moved away from there. Overwatch, the latest meta required 3 tanks, 3 healers, and no DPS, which made it incredibly boring, because in the beginning, you had a lot of heroes that focused on skill, so you had to click the crosshair on people's heads in order to win the match. But now people are playing with tanks and supports, which are heroes that really focus more on their cooldowns rather than anything. So the game is really boring to watch, even from an esports point of view. So people aren't buying that. World of Warcraft, absolute clusterfuck. It's being dominated by Final Fantasy now. People are leaving. So you have no games, really. There's nothing that people want to do when it comes to Blizzard. So of course they're going to downsize the company. They're going to start firing people. Now, this is actually something that happens more often than not in the corporate world when it comes to video gaming companies, and it's kind of sad. But yeah, the more progressive a corporation, the more likely they use humans as a resource. Because all progressive companies have human resources. See what I did there? No, but seriously, like if you look at the history of many of these gaming companies, the more they virtue signal, the more progressive they are, the more likely it is to mistreat the actual people working there. Take a look at The Last of Us 2 and some of the horror stories of the people who worked on that game, and how they say that they had a turnover which was worse than even the #1 industry renowned for turnovers, and that is the service industry. But that's because a lot of waiters, they go there only to have a job for the summer, not because the job is really that bad. But no, like with The Last of Us, is like the job was really that bad that people were quitting on a constant basis. So yeah, I mean, with Blizzard, right now, I understand the investors are upset, and everyone is wanting to have a talk with them, and I'm thinking like, dude, when the company was putting out shitty games and shitty products, you didn't want to have a talk with them. But when it's about corporation, when it's about company culture, now you're into it. It's like, what is the company doing? Is it producing games or is it producing culture? Because culture doesn't pay money. I just want to point it out. If Blizzard, with all the controversy it has right now, if they would have managed to ship out a game that's really good, people would buy it, regardless of the company culture. I'm not excusing the company culture, by the way. If they did something illegal, it's between them and the cops. But it does seem that the entire industry is now focused on creating culture. And culture doesn't sell. No one wants to buy the culture DLC. No one is buying the progressive DLC, right? People want to play a good game. Look at Final Fantasy. Are they doing culture or are they doing the game? No, they're shutting the fuck up and they're making a game and people play it and pay money for it. And until you get to that point, you're going to see more people getting laid off. You're going to see more people getting fired. And, what can you do? Instead of going out and doing strikes and walkouts and raising awareness and that, maybe you should focus on making a good game so that the company can make money and can pay your salary. It's absolutely interesting because when the scandal hit, if you guys remember, when the scandal dropped, Blizzard actually stopped working on World of Warcraft for a while. Like, they paused working on World of Warcraft. So when the game had nasty bugs, when customers were displeased, when all of that was happening, they didn't stop working on the game whatsoever. But the moment the cultural output from Blizzard was affected because of upper management, then they stopped everything. They dropped everything in order to go protest. It's like, okay, feed yourself from protest then. Make money from protest. Now, I'm not saying that this gentleman has been at the protest. But his colleagues, probably from another branch of the company, have. The sales were affected, and now the company is downsizing. And by the way, this whole thing where he says that people were promised stuff and they're not getting it, there is a golden rule when it comes to doing business. If it's not written, it doesn't exist. So if they were promised, but it wasn't on a paper, it doesn't exist. So he says that he has got it right now. His friends at Raven were promised for months that Activision was working towards a pay restructure to increase their wages. Today, one by one, valuable members of the team were called into meetings and told they were being let go. These people were asked to relocate to Madison, Wisconsin to work here. Now they are out of a job on January 28th. Our Q&A team does incredible work, but this will not only increase their workload, and it will also crush morale. Yeah, it seems that the fat is being gotten rid of, so unless you're talking about game developers or artists, if it's the Q&A team, yeah, a company can still sell a product without the Q&A team, unfortunately. So he is upset. Yeah, I can understand why he is upset, but again, if the company isn't making money, how do you expect to get paid? So, I guess it's also really nasty what the company did, trying to relocate people to another place and then firing them, right? But this is one of the things why I think people should lie in their resume and they should lie to companies, is that most of these companies are vile. At least if they were acting exactly how they are and say, hey, we're a business here, we're here to make money. If you want, you can help us make money and you're going to make some for yourself. That would be great. But no, what companies do is that, we're a family here. You're part of the Activision family. Here, we have a playroom for you. You can stay and relax after hours. We got like this whole break room with a ball pit, and we can play with Nerf guns around the office, and it's going to be so great. And we care about the safety of our employees, and we really care, and blah, blah, blah. Until they fire you. Once they fire you, they're not your family anymore. Fuck off. Pack your things, leave. So if a company behaves like this, why shouldn't you lie to them as well? Why shouldn't you try your best in order to make sure that your interests and the interests of your family are the ones that come first? Why would you put the corporation on the first place anyway? Because they're never going to put you on the first place. You're disposable. Again, human resources. That's what you are. You are a resource for the corporation. You're not a cherished employee. You're not nothing. You're nothing. You're a person that is there to make the money, and when they don't need you anymore, they're going to fire you. And all of this wokeness bullshit, all of this corpo crap, all of this culture is just there as a psychological way to make you care about the corporation as if you care about your own family, so you can work more for them, dedicate more for them. But they're not. It's absolutely despicable. And honestly, like the whole woke capitalism thing, it's like why corporations are for social justice is so that you can feel that you're part of something greater. You working at that company, you're helping minorities. You're such a great person working at such a benevolent company. And the reason your coworkers are like a family and they're trying to make you feel welcome and included is a psychological trick so you can work more at them. So you can work overtime, hopefully, without them paying you more. That's it. That's why they're doing it. All of it is psychological tricks so you can give every single ounce of resource for your company until they don't need you and then they fire you. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.